Now that you already have an idea what to expect from this course and what we will be working on, let's explore what is ASP.NET Core thing is all about then. And let's start this explanation with a short history lesson. And no fear, it's not like the one you hated in the school. Anyway, things started for ASP quite a long time ago, way before .NET was even born. ASP, which stands for the Active Server Page, were already created in the late 1990s. To use it, we had to use the script coding in combination with the HTML to create the interactivity. George Chulis had actually done his first web development in this very technology, but let's not go to there anymore. Microsoft then launched .NET with the launch they created the ASP.NET and ASP.NET Web Form. The web form was mainly aimed at making the web development as easy as Windows desktop development. We were able to use the real C# code in code behind in combination with the markup HTML that we could drag onto the designer interface. At that time, that was a great technology, but the creator the HTML was lacking seriously. Developers wanted to get more control over the markup they created, and Microsoft gave developers a new tool called ASP.NET MVC. Aim at being to create a nice HTML again, in combination with a more testable-oriented approach. ASP.NET MVC allows us to do for a year to create a maintenance code base for web application. ASP.NET received a lot of updates over the years, but it was still based on the same foundation as web forms. Because of these dependencies, it was pretty heavy to run and still very monolithic and tied to Windows. Microsoft therefore starts the .NET course like an aim with other platform and lightweight development. In 1916, after many beta releases, the first release of ASP.NET Core were released. In August 1917, Microsoft have released the first major update of ASP.NET Core named ASP.NET Core 2.0. Over the course of 2018, two major updates were released named 2.1 and 2.2, which brought quite a lot of few features for the platform, including support for SignalR and support for Razor class libraries. And then in 2019, we got ASP.NET Core 3.0, and ASP.NET Core 3.0 is the next major version of the platform. At the end of 1990, we got the release of the ASP.NET Core 3.1. ASP.NET Core is built on top of ASP.NET, built on top of .NET Core, and therefore inherits its benefit. As already mentioned, ASP.NET Core is capable of running cross-platform and not tied to Windows only. Therefore, it's possible to run ASP.NET Core code based on Windows, but also on Linux and Mac. ASP.NET Core is basically a rewrite, a different branch, so to say. It's also not based on the code base of previous versions of ASP.NET MVC. That explains why some features, such as SignalR, were not supported in these earlier versions. ASP.NET Core is a platform that we use to build our application on top of ASP.NET Core MVC. ASP.NET Core MVC is a framework that we use to write applications. MVC in this context is a framework. The name of the framework it comes from a common use pattern, the MVC pattern, or in the full the model view controller pattern. This pattern has been around for quite a number of years. is basically an architect pattern that promotes a separation of concern. Instead of writing the code in a big unsettable block of code, we will separate the concerns so that the code can be more easily tested in isolation. By using this approach, we end up with a much more testable and maintainable code base. Now don't worry much about understanding this pattern just yet. I will be explaining the different building blocks in much detail later in this course. I have mentioned already quite a few times that I'll be using ASP.NET Core 3.1 in this course, which is at the time of creation of this course, the latest versions. All demo is available with the download of this course for ASP.NET Core 3.1. However, if you are still using ASP.NET Core 2.1, you still benefit fully from this course. Microsoft has announced some time ago that ASP.NET Core 2.1 will be the LTS, that means will be the long-term support versions. This means with this version you will get the technical support from Microsoft for in the foreseeable future, that you can keep using it for production application. Microsoft will release update for 2.1, also include some security updates. For the more things that we're covering in this course, things aren't a lot of difference. However, in some places in this course, things are slightly different. Where it is the case, I'll point this out, and you also can find the download of this code with the ASP.NET Core 2.1 version. One more important thing to note here is that we aren't covering the page framework in this course. This course will focus solely on building applications with MVC framework.